This is Jackie, and I am here with Is It Josh. Mid-October, you released the track Watching Anime. How does it highlight the sound on your debut album, A Collection of Short Stories About the Heart?
Yeah, so what I'm actually doing is I'm trying to turn this into more of a visual album. I think that when I released 18 songs, it was a lot to digest, at once. And so I feel like making a video for each song is giving each one a chance to have its own moment. I didn't realize, I'm not a video editor. I'm learning as I'm going. And it's been a process, but you can kind of see if you watch the last four music videos, like where watching anime ended up. I've learned a lot since the beginning. So I'm really proud of how that one turned out. And it's just such a unique sound from the rest of the album, being spoken word and very just eerie ambient guitars and things like that. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Is your goal to give every single song a video now?
It's the goal. It's the goal. That's slowly turning less into like full-blown music videos and more like, oh, this one might be a visualizer and this one might be something else. But I want to at least touch every track, yeah, with something.
Okay. So what role do you think music videos have in 2025?
I think they play a huge role, and I think that they're coming back. I feel like for a while there, a YouTube video was just kind of a bunch of people rocking out in a backyard, and like we kind of lost the storytelling aspect of it. And now I'm seeing more and more, like even some of my favorite artists, like the band Camino and bands like that, are dropping their singles alongside these music videos that are very narrative, telling stories, cohesive, across each video. So I think it's really important. I think that it was less important. And now I think it's important. I think that we like to consume things in a visual manner.
And
So
I agree with you. Video editing is a beast. And man,
yeah.
if I had someone to do it for me, that would definitely be a game changer. What is it about anime, speaking of videos, that you find kind of comforting?
Yeah, so I was actually that whole song comes from a place where, the album touches a lot on mental health and things like that. And I was watching an episode of One Piece and it was the season finale. Like I had been waiting to watch this episode forever, but I pressed play and I found myself internalizing a panic attack. And I didn't really know it was happening, because it's something that happens a lot. And it's in Japanese, so I had to keep rewinding because I would miss minutes, and I'm not picking up what they're saying. And I think I watched that episode like 3 times, and that's what kind of spurred that song and the story behind it of just like doing something so mundane as watching your comfort show, watching an anime, and fighting this battle behind your head, these monologues you're having with people that don't exist and worrying about what's coming up next and what you're going to do. And then, so it was kind of trying to put that feeling of just doing something really mundane, really normal, but inside you're just kind of exploding, and that's what came out.
That makes me really wonder. I maybe there's some research out there that folks like us who deal with anxiety, that we have a comfort show. Like for you, it's anime. For me, it's The Simpsons. I wonder if cartoon-based stuff. I don't know if it brings you a childlike state or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about anything like heavy coming on the screen. You know what I mean? Like it's all nice, relaxed, and chill. Like I don't really want to put on, a horror movie while I'm having anxiety. Some
No,
thriller.
some, especially women, but not only women, but like the whole joke of like women and their killer horror like stabber shows. And I'm like, I could never. I don't like these women must be completely stable, and I can't relate to that. Like, give me the cartoon.
Yeah, like my fight or flight's already active just because I had to go to the gas station.
I had to make a phone call. Forget it. I had to talk to a stranger on the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
But the song, it sounds quite personal. I think that's fair to say. Do you find more catharsis and release in writing the songs or performing them?
Yeah, I think that all of my songs end up kind of giving me this cathartic release because they are so personal. And especially this one, I was very nervous about releasing this one because it touches on some dark themes and some things that you kind of either say for your therapist or you just say for your brain. And I don't know. I'm getting more and more comfortable with just talking about that stuff because the feedback that I get from my fans and my listeners are really thankful for that level of openness. And truly, sometimes these songs that I put out, watching anime specifically, is kind of therapeutic for me, to write something like that down, put music behind it, and kind of face that and be like, yeah, this is a part of me. Like it might sound a little wild to someone else who doesn't deal with this, but this is a part of me, and like I'm okay with presenting it in that way. Just trying to normalize it a little bit, I suppose.
And thank you for doing that. I mean, this week coincidentally happens to be Mental Health Awareness Week.
Yeah.
So I think anything we can do to sort of demystify and destigmatize it, everyone deals with their own things. And I think
Yeah.
just it being out there is helpful to people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we kind of exist within a genre umbrella that kind of romanticizes that and has romanticized that for a long time, depression, mental illness and stuff. So I think it's fine to talk about it, and I think it's okay to romanticize it a little bit if that helps you get through it. But I think, it's nicer for me lately to talk about and sing about progress and things like that and not make it so like um, you know, romantic, I guess. I can't find really another word for that. Yeah.
There,
Just
somewhere after emo, there's a little bit of hope.
yeah, just a
Bring
little
it
bit.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was that song in particular born? Did it start with a phrase or a beat or something in between?
Yeah, so I write short stories and poetry that never really make it to the light of day too often. But that one started as a poem that then kind of turned into, my poems are more just free verse. They end up being short stories in the long run. But that's what it was. I had no idea that I was going to put music behind that. And I was at my producer's house in his studio, and I was just flipping through some things, and we were looking at maybe a couple ideas for a last few songs, and I was like, you know what? What if we did this? And I showed it to him, and he always is really down for my ideas. There's never really been a time where I presented something to him, and he's like, we can't do that. So,
Well, with 18 songs on a debut album, the goal of putting out a song for each one, it does sound like being an independent artist, while it is difficult in some areas, seems to really be working for you as far as freedom of control.
oh, totally. Like I'm watching other artists put out their albums and their debut albums with labels, and it looks so stressful. Like, I mean, they're announcing 6 months in advance and doing all this build up, and like I get it, that's what it takes, but I'm not that guy, you know. I don't love to live in promo land, I like to make the art and release it, and I know that's very counterproductive for, trying to break it further, but it's like I'm not gonna do that. So I think that yeah, I think that doing 18 is a big task, and I think that a label probably wouldn't have let me put 18 songs on the album anyways. And watching anime would probably be one that would get cut. They're like, you're not even singing in this, you're just talking, you know. And so yeah, the freedom that comes with it it's a double-edged sword because I'm making 18 DIY videos, which is great, but on the other side, like I'm making 18 DIY videos and I
And
have no
you're
idea.
making them.
Yeah, and I have, I'm setting up tripods and like trying to teach my friend how to work my camera. It's very interesting. It's good. It's fun.
But
You
it
know.
seems to work for you. So that's outstanding.
Yeah.
So you're clearly a prolific writer. Does this also mean, and this is clearly the English teacher in me asking, are you also a prolific reader?
I am. Yeah, I am. I'm reading for the first time ever, I'm actually reading sci-fi. And I'm finding it really hard to follow because there's words and concepts that I'm just not used to reading. So it's really challenging me as a reader, which I like. Um, but yeah, I've been reading my whole life, and I'm always the type of person to pick up a book that's like one of 12 in a series, and each one is like 600 pages, like Wheel of Time, and now I'm reading the Expanse series, and just I think it all started back with Lord of the Rings when I was a kid, just getting used to that size of
I think it shows. I think people who are singer-songwriters who are successful in connecting with their fan base, they tend to be readers because they understand other people's emotions and what they're
Yeah,
going through.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's
And
also
yeah, I've always wanted to write a book. We'll see. We'll see. That'd be cool.
After the 18 videos, you've got some time.
See, I have no one telling me no. What if I wrote a book for each song? Like
the saga of each, like give each one a character and then you keep going.
I just never let go of this album. Next thing you know, I'm, making movies.
Or some manga. Come on, like there's options. I like this. What song is next?
Joshville Part 2, which is a fun. First off, if you don't listen to me and you haven't listened to my old stuff, hearing a song called Joshville is weird, but then hearing Part 2 implies a Part 1, and there is. So yeah, this is Joshville Part 2 coming up on November 21st is when it's going to be out. And it's a very alternative song, and that's why it's called Joshville. The first one was also the alternative, but I'm not actually in this music video. I followed a couple of my friends around. It's this couple, shout out Just Say Your Lines on Instagram. They kind of quit their jobs and now they travel the country just going to concerts and documenting them and living out of an RV. And they were in Lancaster, which is like a very rural part of Pennsylvania. So I went and spent the day with them and just recorded them being cute, honestly. And so it's just kind of a day in the life of these two RVers who are two of my favorite people ever. And that's what's up next.
That sounds awesome. And that life sounds amazing as well.
It sounds wonderful, doesn't it? I was there for when they initially sold everything. They asked in my Discord, should we do this? And I, all caps, after everyone's like, maybe you should think about it. I was like, do it. Sell it all.
Just do it. Listen, this year has been chaos. If you find something that makes you happy, even briefly, even something like anime or me making music or reading a book, just do it.
Just get after it. Yeah, for sure.
I think we're taking more risks and working with others. And I think that's great that you're able to collaborate with people visually. Tell me about some of the collaborations you did when you were making the album. Who'd you work with?
Yeah, so two of the notable collaborations I did. Well, one, Comfort and Say Venus are my two producers and best friends at Comfort Studios. They write every song with me, and I couldn't ask for a better team. Second off, Gateway Drug was a song that actually flew with them out to LA to write with Andrew Goldstein. And Andrew Goldstein, if you don't know who he is, he's done a lot of work with like most of the bands that we listen to, Blink-182, Blackberry, just the list goes on and on and on. And so that was really great to see kind of how that level of songwriting plays out, like really just getting to see Andrew at work, how he formulates a song and things like that. I think really elevated me and my team leaving that. And then Kellin Quinn featured on the acoustic song that I have called Typical. And it's a song about not being neurotypical, which is kind of, it's odd that I called it typical. But yeah, Kellin came in and did a great spin on that because that song is me lamenting, kind of at rock bottom. It's towards the end of the album where things are kind of falling apart mentally. And it's me lamenting like, gosh, I wish that I was neurotypical. Like, what would that be like? And I sent it to Kellin without realizing kind of how sad my part was with no context. And he just laid down this verse that is so positive and about self-acceptance and just being like, this is who I am. And I'm glad. Why did it take me so long to be okay with myself? And I was blown away because I'm like, Kellin, first off, I had no idea that I was being that sad. And second off, great job putting a positive spin on this. So could not have asked for a better person to feature. Yeah, Kellin knocked it out of the park with that.
Man, he's got his little emo fingers in everything lately. I'm always excited to see whatever you do. If you get to work with him again, don't ever ask him to beatbox. He might smack you.
Oh, yeah?
If you know, you know. Or if you go through a very deep wormhole, just trust me on this.
I was a beatboxer for like 6 years, like all through high school. And now anytime I bring that up, everyone's like, can you do it? Can you beatbox for us?
That's kind of what happened with him. And he's maybe because you both can, there's a little bit of camaraderie there.
Yeah, maybe me and him should just do a track where we're just beatboxing all of it. Yeah.
I got this new song idea, but here's what I'd like you to know. I'm just stirring.
I'm gonna hit him up and tell him that you requested that me and him do a beatbox duet.
And then I will never score an interview with him ever again. Great. So going into the winter season, it's usually when things sort of calm down, cool off, everyone goes to be with their families, they're not touring as much. What do the next couple of months look like for you?
Right now, I'm kind of shifting. I think it looks like writing. I think it really looks like writing. I'm going to keep doing these music videos and promoting this album, but this album, some of these songs I wrote 2.5, 3 years ago. I really needed, my music was so fragmented, and I really just needed a place where people could binge me. And so that was the purpose of this album. And now that it's out, I'm really excited to explore new sounds and kind of see what's happening. I'm in my mid 30s now, and like I'm curious to see, now that I've processed like that breakup I was going through, the love I was dealing with, the mental health collapse, the move across the country, like I'm pretty stable right now, in therapy and working on myself. And like, so I would love to see what comes out next. So I think this winter I'm really gonna lock in and just try to make as much music as possible so that by the time next year rolls around, I'm ready to go.
Excellent. We'll stay tuned for much more from Is It Josh, thanks to Chorus FM and In the Key of Change. Thank you so much.